Welcome back to Askewed Reviews, and today I have a viewer request, and what's interesting about this request is it's one of two times where I've had someone involved with the movie actually request for me to review it. So today's film is the 2017 movie Attack of the Southern Fried Zombies. Here is your trivia question for today. What is the primary weapon that Mayor Lockwood wields against the zombies? The answer will be at the end of this episode. So in this story, we meet Lonnie, who happens to be our main character. Now, Lonnie is a crop duster that is helping out a group of scientists by spraying a chemical on an invasive plant known as kudzu. Now, around this same time, there's a music festival going on where everyone in town is coming to party and have a good time. We also see a group of friends who are going to check in with a local drug dealer to hopefully score some weed. Unfortunately for them, the drug dealer has died, but is now coming back as the living dead due to the fact that apparently he smoked some of the kudzu. So now, one by one, all of the people in the town, and especially at this music festival, are being turned into zombies either by biting or by the plant itself. So, can Lonnie and all of his friends that are at the festival manage to make their way back to the scientists to see if they can figure out a way to stop this from happening? This movie was directed by Mark Newton. And now, of course, I also have to give a shout out to one of the producers, Daniel Wood, as he was actually the Askewed viewer that made the request for this review. Daniel, by the way, also managed to sneak in a cameo into this film as one of the global biotech people. So the original title for the film was Kudzu Zombies. In fact, apparently at one point, the barcodes on the back of the global biotech suits could be scanned and the link would actually take you to kudzuzombies.com. In case you were at all curious, Global Biotech is not a real company and quadoxin is not a real chemical. Another thing that appears in this film that is not actually real is the hot sauce. The Carolina Grim Reaper hot sauce does look like it could be, but is not actually a real brand. Now, the Mose Allison Music Festival may or may not have been a real festival, but Mose Allison was in fact a real person. He was actually an influential jazz and blues pianist, singer, and songwriter who unfortunately passed away in 2016. His son, by the way, John Allison, was in the film. He played the lead singer of the band Truck Patch Revival, which, by the way, is an actual band. Now, I'm not sure where they are specifically at the festival, but the real mayor of Charleston at the time played a patron in the film. In the town on the movie marquee is the name of a film called Texas Heart. This is actually another film produced by Daniel Wood, and in fact, the film was playing there and not actually part of the set. This movie takes place and was entirely filmed in Mississippi. So when it comes to the film Attack of the Southern Fried Zombies, I actually did end up enjoying this one a bit more than I was expecting to. Now, I will say I don't think this is a great movie, but it is worth at least a watch at some point. Going into it, there was part of me that really hoped that somehow the zombies got deep fried in some way, shape, or form, and that's where the title came from, and that throughout the film, people would be attracted to the zombies because they smelled so good. There are definitely some funny moments in the film, especially my favorite line of, "Come on, Asher, stop, you're a goddamn vegan for Christ's sake." And this is happening while his friend, who's a zombie, is trying to eat his other friend. So when it comes to generic zombie films, I've definitely seen much worse. The plot and the story for this one is okay. I do think there are some funny moments in it, but I will say probably one of the biggest detractors for me is some of the acting just wasn't that great. So I'm going to give this one a 2 out of 5. Now, if you did like this film, other movies I recommend checking out are Bong of the Dead, Zombies vs. Strippers, Shaun of the Dead, and Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Now it's time for the trivia question from the beginning of this episode. What is the primary weapon that Mayor Lockwood wields against the zombies? So when the zombies first start attacking, he picks up an electric guitar and for the majority of the film, never puts it down and uses it whenever he's battling. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Askewed Reviews, and if there's a movie you'd like to see get a review, just mention it in the comments.